How to build anything using GPT 4.1, the newest model from OpenAI. This model is created for coding, it's absolutely amazing at it and following instructions. It's also very cheap, but today I'm going to show you how you can use it absolutely for free to code, develop, or do whatever you want with it. So it's available right now on GitHub Copilot in public preview. And the only thing you will need is Visual Studio Code, and you will also need GitHub Copilot subscription. You can get the free subscription and you get loads of AI messages per month completely for free. Now, if you want more requests, you can go like with a paid plan of just $10. So after you install Visual Studio Code, essentially you want to go here on extensions and install GitHub Copilot. Okay. It's super simple, guys, to do, and you get access to free models, but specifically for today, we're going to care about GPT 4.1. So this is the Copilot window, and here you want to select GPT 4.1, and you can get started coding. We're going to get started with a web page that teaches people transformer models, essentially what GPT 4.1 is. So the first thing is that we're going with agent mode, or you can go with ask mode. In this case, I'm going to go with agent mode and I tell it to write an SEO optimized web page. But before we do that, we ask it to create a plan. So hit enter, click enable to get access to 4.1 preview, and it creates a strategy on how exactly it's going to structure this web page. This planning step is absolutely important if you want to code anything or if you want to take the most out of these models. In this case, I'm going to go with, something a little less trivial. I'm going to go with Next.js. So what I did is start implementing using Next.js. So we let the agent start to rolling, and I'm really excited to see if this is going to be any good. The agent mode can actually run commands on your end, create files, and do a lot of things. So if you're writing code, if you're using these tools, just make sure to, use the agentic mode. I think that's, super important, my friends. Okay, so it gives us this command. Supposedly it's going to run it, but for some reason it completely failed. So let me run the command for itself. Shit happens. I'm not going to be very, angry with it. It's a new model. It's not very well integrated in most editors. Also, if you use Windsurf, you actually have unlimited usages of GPT 4.1 in there as well. But I don't use Windsurf. I would actually love to test it out in the near future. If you want me to test it out, make a tutorial out of it, tell me down below in the comments. Okay, so everything is installed. Let's continue with the implementation. So it's reading the page TSX, and it starts to implement everything that is needed. So here it gives us the code written live. Again, what I really like is that this is an SEO optimized page, so the search engines will be able to index it. And from a very quick look, I can see here that everything makes sense and it's quite optimized. But the agent still works. So the nice thing about these agents is that they work autonomously up to a specific point. So you can just let it run, drink some coffee, browse the web, come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes later and just review a little bit of code, accept, deny some of it, do a little bit of changes, and then move on to the next prompt. Okay, so it supposedly has finished everything. So maybe we can actually do a quick run of it. So we can do npm run dev to run the actual website and preview it. Okay, so let's open up the localhost 3000 port, which is usually where these services are into. Again, this is a Next.js website. So, okay, it doesn't look amazingly well. It has quite a lot of information here. I think there could be a lot of a better job in terms of, the things that it says, but it has some references, the reference to actual valid links, an FAQ. So there is a general structure. It also has written like a prompt here with code. So, okay, this is not amazing. Maybe we can ask it to improve the website, make it look better. Okay, so I'm going to ask it to make a more beautiful website. I give it the correct context, which are the main 2 files. And I'm also telling it what colors I want it to have. So I want red and black for background. So let's see what the final result is, if it looks a little better. One of the most important things for me is that these models do not one-shot everything. What I really want out of these models is to follow my instructions. When I say change the colors, change the colors. When I say improve, like the content, improve the content. Instruction following, guys, in AI is one of the most important things for people like me that know how to code, have a very specific design, a very specific idea, and they want to use AI to speed up their process. Now, for some guy that may not know coding, maybe you want like in one click, one shot, have a website that is quite good, but this is not the most usual use case. So really, what I would tell you is try to understand just a little bit how coding works, how each block is called, the terms is super important, and you will be able to get such great results out of it. So it says that there is a theme inline rule in global CSS, which is not recognized. And I'm going to actually preview the changes. So it did a lot of these changes, changed the main colors. Doesn't look super good. I'm going to tell it yes because it identifies some kind of error. But again, I would say that the design is not looking amazing still. Okay, so it has resolved the error and this is how the website looks. Okay, so I'm going to ask it to make the website look a little bit more modern. Okay, I'm not going to go overkill with it. This is my final prompt and we will move into another use case, another example. But let's see. I'm super excited to see if it can pull it off. It can actually, make this actually look better. Okay, so the website right now supposedly looks a little bit more modern. Yeah, but I would say it's not looking amazing still. But that's all for this project. We will move into a different project right now. I'm not disappointed in the result, especially considering that it followed my instructions, which was really exactly what I wanted. Okay, so for the second prompt, I'm going to ask it to take all of my courses, which are linked in this specific website, and I'm going to ask it to create a website that promotes essentially all of my courses. So you can see here all of my paid courses. The links for these courses will be down below in the description if you just want to, use or get into any of these courses. I would be super honored to have you as a student, and these courses are always evolving. But yeah, I want to create a wrapper essentially website over this. I'm going to go with agent mode instantly. You cannot see the chat because it's like behind my face right now, but it is so easy for me to have like all of the code in the right hand side. It just makes everything a lot easier. Okay, so it's going to create a Next.js application. I can live with that. Let's check out if in this case it will be able to run like this command on the command line. I'm not really sure. So the Next.js project is underway, still not complete, and the folder is empty. Okay, so it has some kind of problem using my command line. I don't know if this is, my problem or its problem, but I'm going just to add it manually because there is no need for us. So let's hit the cancel button on this end. I'm just going to wait for it to install the dependencies. But up till now, the model is not bad. And what I really like is that it's super fast and of course, free to use right now. So okay, it just installed all of the dependencies. I will ask it to continue building the website. Continue building. Okay, so it's going to start building the website, and now is where the action happens. This is where we want to focus on and see if the final result is going to look any better. Of course, for models like the ones from ChatGPT, there is so much potential to make them, create more stylish websites. They completely lack this aspect. And, I've got to say that this is always pretty disappointing with ChatGPT. They make working good websites, but their websites are not amazing. Like, they've got so much more job to do. So I will ask it to fetch the actual data. So what it says is that there is not an actual API for this, but it will actually guide me through creating a scraping approach or a backend script. So that's interesting. Actually, I need a web scraper for my job. So this could also be a very good thing to learn right now or maybe prepare. And maybe I can use this into my job in the next few days, which is really exciting. I gotta say, in all honesty, like this is quite unexpected that it goes through this approach. So it's going to install Cheerio for backend scraping. So I'm going to continue. Probably it's not going to be able to do that. No, it's actually right now for Cheerio, it was able to run NPM, which is strange. It cannot run NPX, but it can run NPM. Okay, so it says that it's going to actually do it automatically, which is super strange. I did not expect it to actually be able to do that so easily. Can it actually do it? Let's see. If this actually works, I'm going to be completely mind blown. This could be absolutely unexpected. And, I'm super excited to see the result. Let's see. This is exciting. See some kind of error. Okay, so it's building. Okay, so it has like this error. Okay, so the error is very easy for me to fix. You have to use client here, but I'm going to ask ChatGPT to fix it. So I'm going to give it this error and I'm going to tell it like fix this problem. I want to see if it can actually do it. Probably it will. Yes, it added use client instantly. So it's fine. It did it. Okay, so let's see the actual result. I cannot actually see any kind of course. So yeah, I see no courses. Okay, this is a very good test bench. Like there is no AI tool that was able to do this. Okay, so it's not able to handle images, I think right now. Yeah, it cannot handle images. This model cannot handle images. So I see no courses. So it means the scraping logic. Okay, fix the logic. I'm going to ask it for something alternative if it's not able to fix it. I'm going to go with a hard setup, which is Puppeteer, because I really want to test bench this model to see how good it can be. For me, it's super important to like see the limits of the models. My goal in these videos is not to show you like a simple website right now, at least. In most cases, I really want to, but right now we can push a new model to its limit, and I want to do that right now. I think it's good. Okay, so it installed Puppeteer automatically. That's nice. It did it automatically, which is good. It also updated the API route. So I'm going to hit keep. I cannot find module Puppeteer. So, okay. I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to say fix with Copilot. And I want to fix it with preview version. Okay, so, fix. Let's ask it again. Okay, so it says npm install Puppeteer. Okay, run this in the command line. Okay, so because we were running like the server, it was not able to install it. Let's see if it installs it right now. And it also saves the TypeScript part of Puppeteer, which is good. We're going to do npm run dev again. But let's see the limits of the model. I really want to see the limits. So let's do npm run dev and test out if it actually works. I really don't expect it to work, but maybe it does. So we might as well give it a fair shot and a fair try. So it's supposedly loading. I don't know if it actually is able to get the correct data. Okay, so the API is actually not working. So it's not very good for scraping, I guess. But I really want to log essentially the result. If it's able at least to connect or whatever. Okay, so it fails. Maybe we're pushing these models to a limit where they're not ready to handle. But let's see. Okay, so I'm going to give it the failing. Okay, 500 error says that Puppeteer is either failing to timeout or unable to access the page. I cannot launch Chromium. I guess that doesn't happen. Maybe it's blocked by Udemy, which would make a lot of sense. Headless. Okay, let's do it. Let's do the changes. Okay, so it did some changes. We're going to run this again, npm run dev, and we're going to see if it can actually do anything. But I don't expect it to be able to. Like, this site is one of the biggest websites ever. So I don't think it's going to be able to like scrape it, in all honesty. The only tools that were able to get information out of this website up till now were models that could browse using UI. So essentially they acted like simple users. So yeah, probably that will fail as well. And yeah, that's exactly what happens, which is fine. It's totally fine. So I'm going to ask it one final prompt. I'm going to remove all of the context. So I'm going to ask it to create an endless game like Flappy Bird for P5.js. Okay, we're just going to create an endless game like Flappy Bird. It asks us how to set it up. It's a little bit too much conversational. Okay, so we create an empty folder, which is nice. I really like this. So we're going to go with GPT-4 and we're going to open up game here. I really like how it, creates a workflow and guides you through the workflow. I think that's nice. Probably the only problem is that it actually has destroyed like the input, or maybe not. Okay, so continue. So you can see here it starts to populate the game. That was super fast, and you can run this file in a P5.js environment. Okay, so let's take this file. Let's go here. Let's play run. And this is like a Flappy Bird, game. Okay, game over. How can I restart this? Okay, like that. Okay, so I don't like the speed up. Let's tell it, make the game, make an icon for the player, bird. Make the jump more smooth, no acceleration. The model is super fast during inference, which is very, very nice. Like this is, I think, at least 100 tokens like per second. So let's take the new code, paste it in 5JS, and boom, we have some kind of airplane or bird. The jumping is more smooth, score is handled. I really like this. Is it really endless? Oh, this is super hard. Okay, game over. Okay, that looks good. I will give it a pass. So, this model is good. And if you can use it for free, I think it's really worth it. What do you believe? Tell me your opinion about it down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. If you're interested in learning more about AI, I'm happy to invite you to my AI University, which is completely free. Go down below in the description, click the link that says WOPE, and join in the Aero AI University. Here we will have a lot of free courses from image generation, text, coding. We will have all of the links for the available tools that we use. You can also get access to all of our files from the videos, the tutorials, the guides, really available in this community, as well as a chat and a forum discussion with other people and with me. Finally, every day you can spin this wheel to get rewards from the WOP website. Join in, it's down below in the description.